Coming to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan. Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulations.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hi, Jay.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Very well.
How was your weekend?
It's awesome. How about you?
Busy.
Yeah? What'd you do?
I don't like having busy weekends.
Lots of tackle ball?
Not as much tackle ball as I would have liked. Actually, acupuncturist.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Good. I went a few times, actually.
Really?
Yeah. It's good.
Had you ever done that before?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But when he gets the ones in your feet, because it's like they like tap it in, and then they push it in. And it's like don't push it in. It's in.
So you do feel that shit. People all the time are like, no.
It's not something you describe as even like a beast. I mean, it's like nothing.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
But you're releasing negative energy. There's got to be something to it, right?
They've been doing it for what,
yeah.
couple thousand years in China and stuff. It's got to work for something. Yeah. But I don't know. I've just been like, I mean, my whole system blows, you know that, and I've been really tired, and I don't know if it's the meds that I take or what, but I'm just exhausted. He's like, "Peace, very done, very good treatment." And then he had me on my back, on my stomach yesterday, like I was getting a massage. That was the first time ever I've done that. He's like, "Very good for rejuvenating energies." I'm like, "All right, cool." And then
do that.
As soon as I'm done, he's like, "Make sure you drink lots of water with ramen."
Yeah.
You want the ramen in
with
your
the
water?
ramen, huh?
Yeah, with ramen. And I'm like, "What do you mean? Like, am I supposed to go get a lemon juice?" Or and he's like, "No, ramen rice. Squeeze into water. Very good for energy." Like, all right, cool. I'll do that. I also went and saw White Boy Rick.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, I figured it went well. Yeah, I was able to purchase tickets, like no problem.
Did White Boy still get arrested, incarcerated?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
Crazy, huh?
Well, I'll be honest with you, man. Like, I've read a lot of the story, so I knew what the story was, but I wasn't crazy about the movie.
Really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, you know, I figured, it's Detroit-based. White Boy Rick.
What was it? The pacing?
It was slow.
Yeah.
It was slow, and it was.
I said pacing because I had read a couple reviews where they're like, it just, the pacing.
Really? Is that what they're saying? Okay, good. Then I feel justified because that's how I felt. I was like, God. And it was like it got so quick into he's in with the feds and there's no pushback or anything. All of a sudden it's just like they picked him up on the street corner and were like, yeah, we need you to do this. He's like, all right, cool. Sign off on it. And I'm like,
one of the little backstory, huh?
Yeah, I needed more than that. Yeah. And then
isn't McConaughey in that?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, he's trying to do a Midwestern accent to get away from his Texas drawl.
So he just talked big. What did he do? Just talk big?
Yeah, exactly. And he was good. He was fine. The actors were fine in it, but I was just like, I expected so much more. I don't know why, but I just did. You know, this big movie about White Boy Rick, and it's a crazy story. But, you know, go see it, other people. I'm not telling you not to go see it, but I was just like, anytime I'm in the theater and I'm like,
it left you wanting.
I kept looking at my phone like,
that's awful. How did you just tell people to go see it? You can't be honest, Mike. Should they see it or not?
I was tired, and so I was like,
I thought you just got rejuvenated. You told us about your acupuncture.
Yes, I didn't drink enough ramen water. No, it was fine. I didn't fall asleep or even have like heavy eyes. I wasn't like that, but I was like, all right, the movie started at 8:20. They say it's an hour and 56 minutes.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm looking at the clock going, 10:15. Shit, there's another half hour left in this fucking thing.
You're like, I got to see a second movie after this, right?
It was suggested because I was with Beth, and she was like, here's what I'm thinking. Double feature. And I went, no, I'm not doing fucking double feature tonight.
Mike grew morals.
I was like, it's just not right. But really, I just want to get the fuck out of there.
Tired.
Plus, when I was walking out, it was like Predator. Like every theater, it seemed like had the Predator in it. And I was like, I don't want to walk halfway into the Predator and go see that. Forget it.
So real quick on the Predator, anybody know, is that just a remake of the original?
I think so, yeah.
Why, man?
Why did they remake Ghostbusters? Why are they remaking all of these movies? Who knows? But Yeah, I did not feel like walking halfway into the Predator.
Because Ghostbusters needed a female cast.
Sure.
You know that.
Sure, of course it did.
Dude, I had something weird happen over the weekend. You know, I'm coaching this 10-year-old boys soccer team now.
Sure. How are they doing?
They're fine.
Do they listen well? Are they coachable at 10?
They are coachable. They're good boys. I like them a lot. They're fun. But I had something happen that I've never seen. You know, we've talked at length about the parent involvement and how psycho some of the parents can be and out of touch. And it's like perspective, everybody. You know, not the World Cup.
They're all trying to get scholarships.
Right.
And they're paying a ton of money. They need you to get their amazing child a scholarship.
They are paying a ton of money in their defense. Yeah. But they lose their shit, right? Well, that didn't happen this time, Mike. This time, the refs got in a fight with each other.
What?
Yeah. I'm not talking a physical fight, but almost. Let me just...
I like
for
this.
people who don't understand, a little bit of context. There's always a center referee, and then there's an
Line judge?
They're assistant refs. One on one side, one on the other, and they help call offside along with...
Not sides,
plural. Along with out of bounds. And so the center ref is very much in control. The other guys are literally assistant referees.
Mm-hmm.
So
they have the flags. They hold up the flag.
Got the flags. You've seen the flags.
Sure.
So the center ref's in control. He ends up overruling one of the ARs a couple times on like throw-ins, really simple calls where you usually defer to the AR because it's like he's right there.
Right.
But the center ref like overturns it. I'm like, okay, cool. Went in my favor.
What is he overturning? Like whether it went out of bounds?
No, whether it's my throw or the other team's throw.
Oh, okay.
So simple stuff, but it started to grade on the AR, who's a younger guy. The center's about, say he's 45. The one AR is probably like 25, and then the AR next to me is probably 15.
Wow.
Okay? That comes into play.
Okay, great.
So the center starts overruling the 25-year-old guy, and they start to kind of like, you know,
jaw a little bit?
Yeah, little John.
Yeah.
Little John.
Did you think the older guy was trying to wield power?
You know, I've seen him ref quite a lot, and he's just, he's sort of just the alpha in the group, and that's his thing. But in his defense, he's the center ref, and he has the authority to do that. So then what happens is we score, and the assistant, the 25-year-old guy, throws up his flag for offside, and then he immediately puts it down and starts, like, shaking his hand, like, no, like, my bad. Yeah. Well, what that does is it throws the other team's parents into a tizzy because it's like, he was offside. Yeah. He was offside.
He called it and then stopped calling.
Goal doesn't count. And our parents are like, nah, goal counts, you know?
Yeah.
Center ref's like, it was not offside. It's impossible to have been offside in this circumstance.
Now, was it offside?
It wasn't. It was impossible. Our guy shot it. It deflected off the goalie. He put it back in. It was an impossible offside call. The other coach agreed with me. Okay. So that's an undisputed fact. Now, what happens then is the center ref goes over to the AR and says something to the effect of, why can't you get this right, man?
Yeah.
You know,
what are you doing?
How hard is this?
Yeah.
And so they start jawing, and they're like in each other's faces. They're chest to chest, and the center ref starts pointing to the parking lot.
No, like you're out of here?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. What are you doing?
A ref?
He's ejecting his fellow referee. He's pointing to the parking lot. AR starts taking off his yellow shirt.
Sure. Why wouldn't he?
Throws his flag down.
No.
And he starts walking around to my side.
What are you doing? Are you break him up guy? Are you like, oh, this is fucking awesome. Where's the popcorn?
I'm like, put the popcorn in, man.
Yeah.
I don't need to get in on this.
No, not your business.
I've got no reason.
No, why get
I'm
involved?
up 1-0. Everything's going swimmingly.
You never know when you mess with someone. He might pull a gun out and shoot you. Don't get involved. Not your business.
Not my business. So I'm sitting there going, holy crap. And I'm looking at the other coach. He's like, wait, what? What's going on? The AR next to me is going, what is even happening right now? So they exchange some more words, and it ends up that they agree he'll come back. The AR will come back. We'll continue the game, which is a great call because we've got a bunch of 10-year-olds who just want to play their game. Right?
Sure.
And so they apologize to some extent. They get it back going. But immediately thereafter, a parent on that side starts bitching at the center ref, like, you got to respect these assistant referees more than that. And he starts in on him, like Uwe style.
Wow, on the parent?
Any new listeners, Uwe is Deuced, our buddy's dad, who recently passed away.
Yeah.
German, straight out of Germany. Just a gruff old man.
Asked me if I could break him out of the hospital when he was terminal.
Yeah.
He was strapped to the bed, by the way.
That kind of guy.
Yeah.
So
he would march up and down the sidelines screaming on every play.
God damn it, referee! You damn it!
Blind? Are you blind? He'd get thrown. Who gets thrown?
So we've got a similar situation in this game where we've got an ethnic man, I maybe Polish, Eastern European of some sort.
Okay.
Now roaming the sidelines, bitching at the center ref.
Toss him. You got to toss him. Send a message.
He did. He tried to toss him.
Fuck yes, he
Turns
did.
out that guy bitching is the young AR's dad.
Son of a bitch. The plot thickens.
So now the young AR,
His dad is going to watch his
his
referee
dad
games?
drove him there. He's too young to drive
He's
himself.
15.
Okay.
Pay attention. He's
Okay.
15.
So now we got all three refs pissed at each other and the dad of one of the refs in on it. And then we have literally 75 other people involved centrally in the game who just want to play the game. Just want to play the game. We've actually paid these refs prior to the game to just referee our
decent.
game.
It's not bad money
Oh,
for an
yeah,
hour.
Yeah, those
of a
ARs
game,
will
you
make
know?
like $18 or something.
Yeah, for an hour.
Center will make 25. These fucking guys, we delayed at least 30 to 35 minutes during that game at various points to calm the shit down.
Dude, that is awesome.
How does that fit into the stoppage play?
Dude.
Like, I mean,
Yeah, they have to pause the clock. I mean,
right.
They paused the clock, but then the center just made up a time afterward because he wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah,
I'm like, how much time, Raf? He's like, 7 minutes. I'm like, cool, because we're
Yeah,
up anyway.
yeah.
But in the meantime, I gather my guys, my troops. I'm like, guys, come on in.
Did you, as soon as you gathered them, were you like, now, guys, we all agree this is fucking awesome. It is. This is awesome. This is kind of a once in a lifetime event. I've never witnessed this before. Appreciate what you're seeing here. Now, let's get back in the game.
I left the F word out of it, but basically imparted just that. Like, guys, this is a weird thing. And I tried to make it a teachable moment. Gentlemen, this is one of those times where adults are acting a little goofy. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that. I hope we can get our game going soon and we'll finish it up. And Ricky, my guy Ricky, he looks at me and goes, Coach, you didn't want to use the word goofy there, did you?
And you were like, yeah.
Like, Ricky, you got me.
You got me.
I
I
did not
didn't.
want to use the word goofy.
Dude,
But play ensued finally, and two of the referees stayed. The young one had to leave with the dad, and so we had a parent come over and finish.
Because the dad got tossed.
Yeah. It was absurd,
This
man.
is hilarious.
Absurd.
So what?
Youth
wait,
sports.
What did you
dude.
do then with the AR? You just threw in like another,
One of the parents from the other team came over and just.
and you were okay with that?
Whatever,
I mean, he's a
dude.
parent of the other team.
It was a woman.
Oh, she. Ugh, even worse. She keep up?
Is that crazy? Have
Dude,
you ever
that-
seen refs get?
No.
Yeah.
I played soccer
At
from the
any
time I
level.
was 6 through high school.
At any
I
level.
have never seen refs go at each other ever.
They were ready to throw.
That's awesome. Now, do you think these refs, was this like a first time they've been matched together on the field?
Probably.
Yeah.
That happens. You know, they all show up. They don't know who's going to be there. They all just kind of show up.
Fucking awesome. Awesome.
Perspective.
Oh, dude.
That's I wish I could have seen this. I wish I could have been here and watched
10-year-olds, literally 10-year-olds.
Now, do 10-year-olds, are they doing set plays, square ball, crosses, like that shit? Because I remember reffing like 8-year-olds, and they were just chasing a ball around.
Yeah.
So your guys are better than that?
Yeah. It's a 9v9 format. Yeah.
I hate to admit this, Jay, but something else I did over the weekend, found myself on Facebook and going down the wormhole, and I saw something from Paul, your father-in-law.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't remember
You're
what
kidding.
it was, if it was like he hearted something or...
Uh-huh.
Paul came into the mix somehow.
You're
And I was like,
kidding.
I wonder if that's our Paul. You know? And I'm like, I think it is.
Yeah.
And so I start scrolling. I'm like, oh, that's definitely Paul.
Yeah.
I'm like, I haven't seen Marge and Paul in a long time. I'm gonna troll their photos.
Nice.
And I spent an hour scrolling through Paul's photos. And I was
I
like,
can't believe he has that
You're
many
kidding.
photos.
he's got a ton of them. And
I had no idea he was even on social media.
here's the problem.
Who handles his account?
I don't know if it's Marge or Paul. They look great, by the way. They really do.
Yeah,
Here's the
they're
problem
excellent.
I have. I think Paul is playing favorites
How
with,
so?
with grandkids. I don't think you are fairly represented.
Is that right?
I think other family members are better represented than your
Wow.
family.
Huh.
I was looking through it. I'm like, when I get through 8 photos, there should be one of Jay and Gab.
Well, this is what he thinks of me.
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah, that's his take on me.
The pictures were nice. They all seem to be at someone else in the family's house.
Oh, yeah.
Featuring a lot of their children. And
I don't know.
it's
Maybe
like, I
we're
don't know
just
if
not
Jay
big
just wants
picture
to
takers. Or...
duck out of photos, which wouldn't surprise me.
Are you on live right now?
But dude, as I got done with it, I was like, this is so ridiculous. Why am I trolling Paul's fucking photos right now?
Gab's dad,
Gab's
Paul.
dad. I haven't seen him since 1991.
He's a great man.
probably.
I love him.
Oh, he is. Jerry Tarkanian.
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
He does.
The turtle. But yeah, I figured I'd tell you that. Yeah, I spent quite a bit of time. He's got some great photos.
I'm
You should
shocked
check
he's
him
on
out, but-
Facebook. I'm really
yeah.
shocked.
It's nice seeing your kids like through the years.
Uh-huh.
but
That's interesting,
I
isn't
feel
it?
like there's not enough of them. Yeah, I'm thinking Russell has changed the most as far as like what he looked like when he was a little guy to now.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
Manny and Russell, they've,
Manny looks like Manny growing up. Russell looks like he's changed. He didn't get any facial reconstruction or anything, did
No,
he?
no facial reconstruction.
No plastic
Not
surgery.
yet, no.
At any point in his life, he didn't have some tweaking done. So he looks different.
No.
Sweet Pie looks ashamed.
Tiny girl!
Tiny girl! You know, if you remember last week, Jay, we didn't have E here.
Oh, man, it was just
Friday.
crisp. It was professional.
Oh,
felt good.
so-
That's what
Smelled
it
good.
sounded like on
Smooth.
Twitter.
It was smooth. Did you listen, E?
No, fuck no.
What happened on Twitter?
I don't know.
Yeah, what
No.
happened on Twitter?
I don't know. I heard some people complaining about the person sitting in the seat talking too much. That's what I heard.
Really?
You
Yeah.
want to take a shot at Tim right now?
Yeah,
Really?
that's what I heard.
Wow, he's taking a shot at Tim. Shots fired!
Just saying.
Wow. I did not expect that to come. Were you happy about that, E?
I mean, I saw it and said, mm-hmm. And then I just, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I did see, you know how people are. They're
Well, you
probably
and
just
Tim have
idiots.
had a rough relationship for a long time because he's
It's
the guy
been
that
pretty
fills
rocky,
in.
yeah.
He's the guy that fills in for you, and obviously he does a
Right.
great job.
Right.
And so,
Right.
you don't. And
Yeah,
so,
understandable. So you're right, but I don't know. I don't know. There's just one person I fucking saw, dude. Who the fuck knows? I'm sure he was fine.
how
He's
was
a
your
great
weekend
dude.
then, E? You were in where were you?
Boston.
Boston.
Oh, yeah, that's
Boston.
right. Yeah.
For
Boston.
Holy's wedding.
Yeah.
How'd it go, E?
Very good. Very good.
Did
It
you
was-
speak or forever hold your peace?
No, I kept quiet. I kept
Yeah.
You
quiet.
forever held your peace. Why didn't you speak?
Why would I speak up? What do you mean?
Dude,
It's family.
I'm
if
not-
anybody objects to this union, speak now
You know,
or
he didn't-
forever hold your peace.
Yeah.
That's when Easus
I've
goes,
got something to say."
Excuse me, Padre!
He actually didn't say that.
Can you imagine? We should have told him to do that.
God
Dude,
damn it!
I wouldn't
Film
have-
yourself, and you need to object.
I would not have done that.
Padre, over here!
Even if you just went, I've got an objection, and then just went, just kidding, I don't. Everything's fine.
He didn't offer that up as a thing anyway. There was
Wow,
not.
He didn't want to
this
risk
isn't
it.
a valid
he, knew,
wedding.
he knew he would
Well,
do
he
that.
wasn't-
It's not a valid
Dude,
wedding, in my opinion.
I mean, it wasn't. You know,
You
more and
have
more-
to ask that, right?
What are you afraid of, Holy? What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
Little
I-
objection here or there?
I
Huh?
don't understand what the deal was. You know, now it wasn't a real we weren't in a church, and it wasn't a pastor or a father. It was just
This isn't
some
Jewish
dude.
at all.
Jewish wedding?
No, just some dude who probably. You know, it's not
Over
that
the
hard
internet?
to become ordained.
Did he
to
get it
marry
over the
people.
internet?
I would have guessed
Yeah.
it was basically just one of their friends.
Oh, wow.
That,
One of those.
that they
One of
chose.
those.
One of those weddings.
It was a great wedding. I've only been to a few, but I actually really liked it. Actually, I
I'm
thought
not
he did a
dying
good
to run
job.
into a church either, but, I mean, it does sound suspect. I'll be honest
What do
with
you?
you.
Look, I don't even care. It doesn't. What do I give a shit if the weddings are real or not? I was an excuse to drink and
Did
stuff.
you meet any more hot female relatives that you weren't aware of?
No, but she did that. The one in question did sit next to me throughout the entire time.
whose
make
diaper
a
you had
move?
changed years ago?
Yeah. No, I did not. But it was funny because the last time I went was just it was a family reunion. And,
I've seen her naked.
And-
oh my gosh.
Changed her diaper.
I've seen her naked.
And
She was
alcohol-
shaved, too.
And alcohol, when I did the family reunion 2 years ago, I'm just gonna power through that. Alcohol was like people had a drink or two, but really it was it wasn't like a party. This was a wedding.
Yeah, it
and
was
so like
on.
the cousins, it got interesting once everyone got really drunk, and then like into an after party where now there's a band playing, and they're just. Things may have come up
Loose-lipped?
loosen up to the point where people are like, man, we don't
fucking
see
hate
each other enough.
Ah, one of
dude.
those,
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're hugging people
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
We don't see each other enough.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, things like well, for me, it's true. It is true because I don't see.
Why
these
don't you
guys.
see him then?
Because they're just things with. It's just stuff with
Gets
family, man.
complicated, Mike. Gets complicated.
I've got stuff going. They've got stuff going. We have family
Busy
issues.
lives, Busy
He's got
lives.
stuff going.
I do. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Almost every day of my
Name
year, I
two
have
things.
something
Name
going
two
on.
things you have going.
That I do on a weekly basis. I'm dancing a few days a week.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
doing comedy a few days a week. I do this show.
Hey,
I go to.
speaking of dancing, did that come in handy at the reception?
It did
All
not.
your moves?
It did not. I did not.
Dude, you're never going to fuck your cousin if you don't
Sweep
at least
him.
throw some moves out
Yeah,
there.
sweep
Show
him
them
off
what
your
you're
feet.
capable
I agree.
of.
You're right. You're right. I had a poor effort
Yeah.
to. I would say that was the only thing that bummed me out was the other side of the family. I was hoping there didn't seem to be a lot of like available girls at the wedding. It seemed like a lot of the friends of the groom appeared to be with
He
people.
didn't
Just
stock
as-
the pond for you?
What?
didn't
Yeah,
stock the
yeah. I
pond
was
for you?
kind of
Yeah.
bummed about that.
No horny
sucks.
bridesmaids?
I will say
Yeah, it
though.
should be an easy room to score in, you know?
I will say though, what was rejuvenated in me was this whole talk of sports. I went to a game at Fenway on
Did you
Saturday.
really?
Yeah.
Have
And
you ever been there?
I've been there twice, but like literally 20 years
I'd
ago.
love to go there.
Yeah, me too.
And But man,
I saw pictures. Who was the chick you were with? I
that,
saw
that was
Brian.
that was another cousin of mine.
She had nice tits.
I'll let her know.
In the
you
one
said
picture,
that.
it was
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Did
Well,
you notice that, E?
No, I didn't. And
Jesus.
Look at the
cousin-
picture. She's got nice titties.
The
Yeah.
cousin you're referring to, by the way, apparently her uncle has listened here and there, and he had this weird moment where he
Sorry
came
about
up.
that.
He came up to me.
Brady.
I kind of said, "Yeah, it's not for anybody."
I didn't mean your daughter has great tits. I did not mean that.
And
It's out of line.
And yeah, he came up and for one and like, yeah, I listened once, and I'm like, yeah, I can go a little far sometimes, like, not for everybody. He's like, yeah, you could, or something. And I was like, but then, like, at one point, this was before this. Then we're at the wedding. The ceremony's over. We're getting ready for like the pre-drinks before the meal, and I'm in line, and he just goes, "So you talk about the few times I've listened, you really talked about drinking a lot in the show." He goes, "So are you an alcoholic?" And I'm just, as we're standing in line with all these people, I'm like,
Mind your business.
and I was just
sir.
like, I don't know. Maybe
You didn't know
not,
how to
but
answer that.
I
Wow,
just-
he didn't know how to answer that.
I was like,
I'm
I don't
not
thi-
sure.
I was like, I don't think
maybe
so.
I am.
Ask me after 5
Just
more
go
beers.
Fucking no.
I just said I
dude.
don't think so, and I was like, I don't know. It was just awkward though when I ask it like
and then
that.
proceeded to get sloshed, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I got pretty drunk. Yeah.
Jake hanging out on the dance floor.
No, not like that.
Nope, I'm not an alcoholic. Told you,
Imagine
Uncle
if
John.
He had his dick out on the dance floor in front of all of his
Well,
cousins
actually, you
and
know what? One
family.
of my cousins. I don't know if this is a thing only in the last few years because even for me, I obviously didn't go to state, but my brother and friends did, and I went to East Lansing quite a bit. But this one of my cousins who's only 22 went to state, and they were playing the Piano Man right near the end. And I don't know if it's a Piano Man thing or if it's just the end of the night thing.
I was talking with Davey,
But-
who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life.
he was drinking vodka
He's
lemonades.
quick with a joke
Or
or
to
a light of your smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather
be.
So he was drinking vodka lemonades all day. Like, beer is one thing to me, but man, you're talking vodka and you're just pounding them down. So
yeah.
that song came on, and he just pulled his pants down
What?
to his boxers,
Nice.
and just
Great
like
move.
for half of the song, I guess. And I guess he said that it's something that at wherever he went to at state. Whether it was I don't know whether it's just his dorm room friends or something that was at parties that was happening in the last few years. Sure. Apparently, at some point at the end of a night when a song is played,
That's the thing,
People
huh?
just
Yeah.
pull their pants down to
That
their
was his
boxers.
I don't
explanation.
remember that at
No.
state. I didn't go to state,
I
but I
could
was.
see that being a thing.
That's what I'm
I
saying, though. It
lived in
doesn't
East
shock
Lansing
me. It's a
for a
college,
while, and-
young kids. Who knows?
The
and
kids.
so he said he just did it instinctively. He's like, I was kind of drinking and I didn't even think about it.
Instinctively. Sing us a song, you're the piano
Piano
man.
man.
The guy's like,
And like I
fuck,
said,
I
I-
gotta get these drawers off. Even though I'm surrounded by family at a wedding.
Well, and then he was the cousin. He was sisters of the hot, the hot cousin is his sister.
Gotcha.
And man, when we were at the after party, they were having a fuck ton of fun. Like they were just singing every fucking song. They were dancing. It was great.
Were you
actually,
singing
but-
too?
Hell yeah, of course. But by going to this Fenway, this game at Rogers, dude, seeing a city that has a sports team that's winning again, it made me realize I don't hate sports. I just hate this town right now. There's just nothing to
Yeah.
cheer
It's tough.
for.
Yeah.
When you're at a place where at the end of they've won 100 games and they just clinched a playoff and it's sold out and there's an atmosphere. It's like fuck, this
Plus
is kind
your
of awesome.
cousin's tits were on display.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, it was nice.
You know what though? You're building an appetite for that, Isis.
I know.
You know? We're
I
in
know.
this dry time right now as
I
we
know.
just watched the Lions lose their second game. And we've got not a lot of promise on the horizon for the Pistons and Wings, and we're just in this dry time. But Iserman's coming back,
Right,
right?
I know, right?
To turn that shit around.
Rumor.
A couple years from now, we'll be sitting pretty, right, gentlemen?
The Lions had, at last check, 10 penalties, over 100 yards in penalty. Dude,
Right.
it was hard to watch that game. It was a good game, competitive. At the end, the Lions had a chance against the 49ers. And I know people are thinking, who are you rooting for? I know you're a fan of the 49ers and Lions.
I asked the same thing as I walked in.
This is a very tough question to answer. And usually I wait till the game starts and I see where my heart takes me.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's what I do, because it's not like, yeah, I'm a 49er fan every day of the year unless they're playing the Lions and fuck them. You know, and so usually it comes down to like, the Lions are having a better season than the Niners, so I'll root for the Lions.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Today I found myself really like pulling for the Lions in the end. Like my heart wasn't saying shit for like 2.5 quarters.
Yeah.
I mean, 2.5 quarters.
Just watching the
I was
game.
on my own. I'm just watching the game. I'm not cheering for any play at all. I'm just like,
That's crazy.
arms folded, just watching like, whatever, whatever. And then as it got as the Lions started to make a comeback, I was like, fucking yeah.
Yeah.
And then they had a pick, what should have been
Yeah.
a pick six at the end of the
Oh man, new
all
and
the
different way to
fucking-
lose, huh?
So well,
just frustrating.
So well.
dude.
And then, I'm reading my Twitter, and it's like Vontae Davis, is that his name? The corner from the Bills?
I don't know.
Went into the halftime, went in the locker room at halftime, and just announced, I'm out.
Oh, yeah,
I'm retiring.
Yeah, retired mid-game. Wow.
And just walked out of the fucking building. His team is so pissed at him right now. Anyways, E, where were you?
Oh, no, I was going to say, I'll offer one more thing that you can basically just make fun of me about. If people don't know this, in the 8th inning, I don't know how many years they've been doing it, but it's been going a while now. They play Sweet
Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
So all day. I wanted to see that as much as I wanted to see anything in the game. I wanted to be in the Fenway
Would you be
Park.
more excited for Sweet Caroline or like at Florida State?
Oh, I
Like
would
the chop.
definitely would be the second one or the first one, at Fenway.
The former or the latter?
The former.
Okay, all right, all
Not
right.
the
You're in
latter.
Sweet Caroline. You're a big Diamond fan, though. That doesn't.
Not really, but I wanted to be in Fenway Park. That was like my biggest thing all day. I kept telling my brother, I'm like, I can't wait. They better not have stopped this for some reason. I didn't even look up to see if they still do it, but they better not have stopped it. Then it hit. They did it, and I had fucking absolute goosebumps all over
Tears?
my arm.
Did you weep?
I didn't weep, but I literally was like, for 2 innings, like for the rest of the game, I was like in a buzz.
Oh, my gosh.
That
A body
doesn't
high?
happen.
Close to a body high.
It was, yes,
Wow.
absolutely.
Did you sing along?
Did I sing along?
You
Fuck
did,
yes,
didn't
I
you?
did.
Did they put the words up and have a bouncing
You know
ball?
what?
on
I
the
don't.
words
I
so
didn't
you
even
knew?
look because I know the words. So I mean,
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum.
but both
things
arms had
Never
goosebumps.
felt so good.
So
So good. So good.
Did you do the so good,
Of
so
course.
good part?
Of course I did. Of course I did. But both arms.
Well, you take a knee every time we sing here. We've
Yeah.
done Doug's song 1,000 times.
That's not the same
Then
thing.
we're gonna find
not the
our
same
best
thing.
friend Doug. Come on in.
That's not the same thing. But I had
That's even
goosebumps
worse. It's
along
for a
both
sponsor.
of my
We're getting
arms.
paid to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
won't
like
even
what
do
I
it
like.
for money.
For free, he'll do it, though. Sing
Right.
his balls off.
Hey, speaking of sponsors, how long have you been with your grill friend? Kowalski Sausages knows that when you find the right grill, you never need a reservation. She's the perfect plus one, there for you in the good weather and the bad, grilling up some delicious Kowalski sausages, hot dogs, and kielbasa's until rust do you part. Also, may I suggest the olive loaf?
Have you tried the olive loaf yet?
Of course I have.
No, that's
of
a
course
lot.
I.
No.
It's delicious. It's the best olive loaf out there.
Dude, it's the
best.
It's the fruit cake of the fucking loaf world.
That's okay. Well, that's all
okay.
right.
That's all right. No, you do not like it when Nana sends a fruit cake at Christmas.
I don't think I've ever gotten a fruitcake, honestly.
It's kind
Yeah,
of
I've never eaten a
kinda like
fruitcake,
that
even though I've heard the
cliche
joke about
thing,
right.
you know?
What did your parents think when you got shit faced at the wedding, E?
They didn't go. It was just me and my brother, so they didn't go.
Oh, that's weird.
I gotta
Why-
get into that shit, but
Hi,
it
Miss
was just my-
Fady.
Yeah, it was just the
They-
bro.
wait, but it was a family wedding.
Look
I
at
mean,
dude. There's some family shit, okay, and the reality is I basically go to see the cousins. So
I'm gonna let that sit.
Yeah,
'cause
I mean,
I
we'll just leave it right there.
get into that. You know, I brought up.
you didn't even have to bring that up.
Let's
You
not
know,
even.
No, I-
let's
well,
not
I-
even focus on it, guys.
Look, I care about you guys. I brought up Jay's extended family with Paul and Marge, and he had no problem with it.
You're kidding.
And then even mention in passing like your family, and
It's gonna the more interesting thing when you mention even though I know you're just being a dick to be a dick because you didn't have to bring that up. But the more interesting thing will be is if my sister ever actually gets married. Because me and my sister have talked about the fact that
Mongoloid Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
You think that's going to happen?
Yeah, I
why?
guess. I mean,
He's already banging her.
I know. He's
Like,
living with her.
Why?
Right.
I mean, she didn't hold out for marriage, so
yeah, but I mean, I
What
would
does he care?
I don't know. So I assume.
What's he
that
think he's going to get out of this?
I don't know. Okay, so let's just assume that for
I
some
mean,
reason
isn't
they
that
do.
the point of getting married so you can finally break the seal and bang that girl?
Right,
but
of
if,
course.
if your sister's already slutting out and giving it away
he,
for nothing,
he wants in on the Fady Manor is what he wants.
Right.
blame
Okay.
him.
So whatever. Let's just say they decide to do it, to have to at least have the marriage and have.
Sure.
We
You think
mentioned
they'll
that.
have kids?
I finally asked her the other day and sounded like she said she did, and I was actually shocked by that.
She did have kids?
that
She does want.
Wow.
she
Maybe,
does.
or she
Wouldn't
not,
that be
maybe not
something?
want, but she's
Uncle
not.
Easus.
She's not said no. I honestly thought at this point that she probably was just like, eh. But she said like, yeah, I could see having kids.
Mom, why does Uncle Easus sleep on Nana and Papa's couch?
Mama, why am I smarter than Uncle Easus and I'm free?
So we were talking. Me and my sister have talked about it though. Like, if she had a wedding, there might have to be two. Like, there might have to be some like little just ridiculous kind of thing where my parents are there
Why?
and we.
What do you mean?
we
Why
do
would
a
there-
se- Because there is no chance. My sister will not do a wedding where there's not like an open bar like most weddings and where people don't get drunk.
Oh my God, your mom's gonna take issue with an open bar.
She wants a dry wedding.
Me?
Mrs. Fady.
Mrs. Fady,
Hold on,
come on.
let me look right into the
she
camera
hasn't-
right now
wait,
and
why-
talk to you, Mrs. Fady. What do you? It's a wedding. It's a time for
wedding.
celebration.
Let's
People
go.
should be able to drink, loosen up, have some fun, dance a little. You know what I mean?
Jay and I are gonna be there.
We'll be there. We'll dance with
and
you.
we'll be
that's-
shit-faced
yeah.
too.
She's not said that she wants it. They don't even talk about a wedding. I'm just saying that my
She
sister
knows
knows.
1/3 of her offspring are fucking lushes, right? At
Right. I
least.
don't. I
I don't know where
how.
Brian stands or where Lauren is, but
Well,
you're
me
a
and Brian
problem.
drank all weekend. So
So there you go.
Anyway,
Is
it'll
she
be
just being
interesting.
cheap? Does she just not want to pay for that?
No, she has
Because it's on her ass to
thing.
pay for the wedding, right? Isn't the girls?
I think that's kind of gone by the wayside, honestly.
How does that go?
I think it's
how does that go by
split.
the wayside and
I
the
know.
diamond fucking ring hasn't?
Yeah, I know.
That's bullshit.
I think the diamond ring should, dude. I'm going to try to impart that on my boys. Like, think out of the box, gentlemen.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's just a,
Well,
it's
dude,
a PR move, right?
Dude, I had at one point I thought, one day maybe I'll marry Beth, which is I won't, but I bought one of those giant candy rings, the cherry ones, and I was gonna be like, yeah, will you cherry me? Because she wouldn't want some obnoxious ring.
Wordplay.
Yeah, totally. It's my thing.
Yeah.
And but yeah, that's what I would do, and she'd be like, way better than spending $20,000 in a
Yeah,
fucking
we
dude,
talked
man.
at length about this, right? The diamonds were a PR
Yes.
stunt by a certain company.
De Beers, right? Wasn't
Yeah, and then
De
it just
Beers?
and then it caught on and it became a thing, and it does make you like,
Dude, it was an ad campaign.
dude, just stop and think about that. Why is everybody just buying diamond rings?
I'm telling you right now, dude. I had
Was
to
it
talk about-
diamonds are forever, or
Yeah.
diamonds are a woman's best
Well,
friend?
both those things are things.
I know,
dude.
but De Beers launched that like Hallmark did for
Diamonds Are
Valentine's
Forever
Day.
is a Bond movie. Diamonds
are
are forever, forever, forever.
No, I had a big talk with this about with my brother about this, and that is weddings. Even maybe I can get behind the party, but dude, funerals are bullshit. This idea that we have to
Would
pay.
you rather?
This idea that we have to bury these dead bodies and shit.
No, that we have
What are
to
you
pay.
talking about? He's just
The commercials were like, "Oh, if you're ready for a funeral, do you know the average funeral costs $10,000 or $15,000 or
Yeah.
whatever it is?" I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's
"Are you
bullshit.
no. We're
fucking
pine
kidding
boxing
me?"
this shit, right? E?
Dude,
We're coffee
boxing
canning it.
coffee can it,
Yeah,
and fucking
Folgers.
just
Yeah.
whatever.
Folgers
Why-
off a cliff.
And by the way, why do we have to go to this fucking building and have these guys with their little, their tissues and bullshit? And
Ian and I talked about this
I'm
like a week ago, and I was
Right.
like, "How would you feel if we just buried you up to your neck in sand, and then people could just come by and slap you or kick you?" And he was like,
His
"Fine."
dead head.
Yeah, his dead head. Just have his head above the ground. Like
Oh,
there's a bunch
man.
of burial
Eventually, it
plots
would
around
come
him.
apart though, and it'd be like,
Fine.
and just kick it down the roadie. You okay
He didn't
with that?
care at all.
I would no, but like for me,
Just
like
a vessel.
even for me,
It's
dude,
just a vessel.
just
Yeah.
burn-
Can you imagine there'd be a few assholes that come by and stick their dick in his mouth? And just
Oh,
like,
God.
They would, and he wouldn't care.
I wouldn't care.
There'd be a lot of pissing on him for sure.
I wouldn't care. But like my thing is like even the funeral home, just pick a family, man. Can't one family member just like, hey, we'll have
Jesus,
people over?
death is a business. You know that.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's
Yeah.
stupid. And weddings to me, like my
Why don't
cousin-
you tell Jay what you want to happen at your funeral? What you told Burr?
Hold on, stop. We are going to stuff Ezus. We've talked about this.
Before we
Grizzly
start-
bear style, right?
Right. Well, yeah, obviously. But before we do that, E has a request, and he's laid
it's-
this out for Burley already.
It's
All
been a
right,
long run.
So this is plan B. Plan A is grizzly bear style.
No,
in the
we'll
corner?
get him right after Burley's done.
All right.
well,
go.
whatever. The point was, it's a long-standing thing with Burley to tell him that if, assuming my parents are still alive when I'm dead, or anybody, I don't even care. I want him to take a compilation, all the stupid shit I did from back in the day on videos, put it to a Blink-182 song, and be like, "This was Eric." I don't want fucking. Oh, he was a nice guy.
all the
Small things.
Probably 20.
And, like,
what's my age again?
He wants a
Probably,
montage of like him eating shit, rabbit shit.
E.
In a
That's
bowl.
what I want.
I kind of like it.
I want people to know that's who I was.
Oh man.
We were talking about this extensively
so you're
because
gonna
it was
kick your
like
parents in the nuts on your way out, huh? E?
I'm going to kick the world an idea of whatever. Here's a perfect example. Today, again, I was coming in. I had a different shirt on before this, and it had a hole in it. And my dad's like, there's a hole in that shirt. And I'm like, okay, and whatever.
sounds
And he
like
goes-
something
and he goes-
my dad would say and
he-
Jay would say.
Right, and he goes, and again, once again, he pulls the out there like, if you want people to take you seriously and stuff, you wear stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't care what people think.
Yeah,
of me.
you're
And
like
he goes,
faulty
yeah.
premise, Dad.
And he goes,
You're like-
that's very obvious.
The idea that someone's going to take me seriously, like you
The
haven't figured
notion.
out that boat has sailed like long ago, Dad.
And-
no,
and
no.
with the-
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, no, but even the funeral thing. But well, shit, you want to stay in the funeral because the wedding to me, that's another thing that, again, I don't mind having some level of ceremony, some level of party with the family.
Yeah.
But this whole thing, like, about worrying about like the invitations and if they're just right and are the flowers and this and that.
No guy gives a shit. You're not original.
But nobody should.
No guy
Nobody
gives a
should.
shit.
Understand this as a dude who's gone through it. It's not necessarily about you, and it's not necessarily just about you and your wife either. It's about like your extended family. If you've
Right.
got extended families that care about this shit, and so it's.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I do. I actually do know what you mean.
That's
but I
why
still think you could do it way. I think this.
I totally respect people who just go, you know what? You and me, we're running off. We're getting married.
Yeah,
I
I do
totally
too.
get that. And
I
if I
do
could
too.
do it all over
Saving
again,
money.
I'd probably do that.
Don't most people do that like the second time around?
Probably.
You know, after a
second
divorce
time
or
around is
something.
usually way, way, way smaller at the
Yeah,
very least.
yeah. Well, E and I were talking about funerals like one day last week, and we were talking about how, you know, that guy that comes around is like, he's got to give the eulogy. He's the main dude.
He's the pastor?
Well, yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, like if someone wants to speak from the family, he'll give him a couple minutes to say a few nice words. But for the most part, he's running the show. And that guy will come around. If you've been to those, he'll have a meeting with family and friends, immediate family and friends, and be like, so tell me about Paul. And you're like, yeah, Paul loved, you know, his family and his daughters. And
Yeah.
blah,
He
blah, blah.
didn't hate Matt Stafford, but
I don't hate him, but I just don't think he's that good.
And then he takes those bullet points and he's
Yeah.
like, well, as we all know, Paul was a great guy, loved his family,
Right.
and he didn't care for Matt Stafford.
sometimes they overstate things a little
Yeah.
bit because they don't know the person at all.
Well, I remember that at Uwe's and at when one of Beth's grandparents died. It was like we're all in a like,
They say something and
circle.
you're like looking around like, you talking about the same dead person here?
Do you remember Ricky Gervais's special? And they fucked with a guy, and
Yes,
Ricky
man.
and his brother
Yeah.
were like, I'm Ricky. This
Yeah.
is Paul. Our other brother Steve, who wasn't. And they're like, oh, he had 3 beautiful boys. Da 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 da. And they misnamed the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but if that was my guy, he's like, well, we all know Mike loved, you know, oxys and banging chicks, like. But you can't say that for some reason.
Yeah.
But I want
What is
you
it?
guys to
mouth,
say
butt,
that.
hand, mouth, butt, vagine,
Hand, mouth,
and
butt,
tackle ball.
vagine, and tackle ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my 5 things. So if you guys are being honest, where they go, Jay, you know, tell me about your friend.
I
Mike.
go hand, mouth, butt, vagine, and tackle ball.
Yeah.
Deal
Be
with
like,
that, Padre.
I don't know how I can say that. I mean, did he love like life? Did he love?
Yeah, as
his
long as it
friends?
involved.
And then I want you guys to be adamant though. Be like, no, I'm telling you, dude. Like his loves in life were oxys and like hand, mouth, butt, vagine, and tackle ball. That's all you need, Padre. Go for
Very
it.
partial to the butthole, Padre.
Can you imagine the guy at the podium? Like, as we all know, Mike was a big fan of fucking buttholes, mouths and hands and tackle ball, whatever the fuck that is. But I want you guys to stand firm, be like, no, this is his moment, not yours, Padre.
Yeah.
Not yours.
And who is that?
don't
Who is it? That
expound.
guy is to judge what you liked in life
Right.
just because they might
But
have
I
been
don't
a
give a
little
shit what he
odd.
thinks.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what he thinks. I lived my life. I
Right.
didn't love life.
It's not sugarcoated, Padre.
No.
I still thought about that
exactly
more,
it.
and I love
Well,
it.
then, you know what, dude? Write it yourself, then, man.
Right.
Honestly, if you want to ensure that it's done right,
Now.
write it yourself and email
Can
it
you
to
remember hand, butt, mouth,
Just
vagina,
send me an email.
tackle ball? I'll send you an email. 'Cause I'll probably have to speak at your, like, as if I'm gonna live long enough. You'll have to hit.
Yeah,
a
what are
tree
you
or
talking
something.
about?
Yeah,
What was that? Are you serious?
talk.
dude, he could run into a tree.
That's a
and
good, you know,
die.
okay, that's a
Never
good point. Things happen and
Yeah, I mean, if it's just straight health, yeah, obviously
Yeah.
he's gonna outlive me by 50 years. But
that's a good point. Life, you know, is crazy. But
you never know. Someone might run him off the road. Maybe he'll wake up one day and have a giant fucking storm around him. You're not planning on moving to Carolinas, are you?
No.
Anytime
Did anybody
soon.
die down there?
Few people.
Yeah.
14, I think.
Any Peroops?
I'm sure some
Yeah.
Peroops
We don't have
died.
the Peroops count yet.
One guy died trying to look after his Peroops. He was going out to see how what did he have, horses or hogs? One of the two. And he was checking on them. But 14, is that good enough for the coverage we've gotten?
That probably suffices, honestly.
You think so,
Yeah.
14? And that's early. We're not done yet. Because
Yeah.
the storm is just like sitting there hanging out. But now it's like, it's a tropical depression, they're calling it. It's not even in the fucking, it's not even in the hurricane realm anymore.
No.
People are being pulled from flooded homes. I say leave them. You told them to get the fuck out. You told them you were not responding until the storm was over. I can't trust you now. If you're going in there to
don't
save
spend
them.
tax dollars on that shit.
That's right. They're bracing. Carolina's bracing. North Carolina's
Unless
bracing.
they're elderly or infirm, then we go get them.
Well, then it's on someone else to get them the fuck out of there. wheel them out, fly them out, whatever you got to do, but don't leave them there and then make us deal with it now.
True.
So, catastrophic, widespread river flooding is what they're worried about now. It's Florence, Hurricane Florence, has virtually parked itself much of the weekend atop the Carolinas. Officials have now downgraded it to tropical depression. Have you heard of tropical?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Really? I've heard of tropical storms, but depression?
Yeah, for sure.
The death toll, it's 14 when a man drowned after a pickup truck flipped into a drainage ditch along a flooded road in South Carolina. 2 people died. Carbon monoxide poisoning running their generator in the house.
Oh, man.
You
when
know,
will we learn?
I'm a fucking moron, and I know you can't run a generator in your
No
house.
gasoline engines inside, man.
God. And this, a 63-year-old Mark Carter King and 61-year-old Deborah Collins Ryan were killed by breathing in the carbon monoxide. That's what happened to them. 740,000 homes estimate and businesses remain without power. They say they could be out for weeks, which is bullshit, if you ask me.
Brutal.
I mean, 740,000. Why does it take weeks? Fucking turn the box back on. Let's go. Weeks. Flash flooding, major river flooding are expected to continue. Forecasters now say thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate for Cape Fear. Who the fuck lives in Cape Fear? That movie was terrifying.
Oh, with De Niro, right? And Juliette Lewis, I think.
Was it De Niro?
Yeah, I think De Niro was the bad guy, the tatted up bad guy.
Was he? Why
Well,
was
are
I
you thinking of the
it was-
original or the remake? There were 2 of them.
When was the remake?
The remake was like in the late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Not the 60s version.
No. Why would I be thinking of the 60s
You know,
version
I
of Cape
don't
Fear?
know.
Jay, we grew up. Who was in Cape Fear in 1990 or 91 or whatever it was?
Second.
It's De Niro, dude.
Yeah, you are right about that. All right.
De Niro and Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis, I know. It was De Niro. Yeah, you're right. You're right. God, did that movie terrify you?
Not really, honestly. I didn't think it was that good.
Creepy. I wouldn't want
What
to
year
live in
was
Cape
that?
Fear.
Is this
91, it says.
91. Makes sense. So anyway, yeah, they're telling people at the Little River. So if you're listening to us and you're at the Little River, Cape Fear, the Lumber, the Noose, the Waccamaw, or the Peedee, Peeddee,
What's our instruction to these people?
fuck out of there. It's time for you to
Evacuate
go.
now.
Yeah, or get the fuck out of there, whichever way you want to say it. So anyone living within a mile stretch of Cape Fear, the Cape Fear River, go. Beat it.
Fuck out.
Officials are warning residents not to stay. Here's something interesting. They're saying not just stay off the roads, but if you are going to be mobile, ignore your fucking GPS because
Stay
GPS
where?
they're not updated fast enough to keep up with like that road's close. So it's going to send it keeps GPS
Michael
keeps
Scott
sending
you
people
into the water.
Yeah, it keeps sending people into like flooded zones.
Right
and
down a
shit.
boat launch, right?
yeah,
Him and Dwight.
yeah.
I follow what GPS said.
Yeah.
Why am I here in a blocked road?
I always tell people that is such a great moment. My favorite of that really though is Michael goes, the most important thing is that no one got hurt, and then Dwight's like, did you get the car insurance? Because that's also very important right now, as the car's flooding in the water. Like,
It's a well-written show, man.
Yeah.
I watched a couple episodes this weekend. It is a solid show.
I watched, going down the rabbit hole
Yeah.
again with YouTube, I watched some blooper reels from The Office.
Oh, really?
And
I've never seen any of those.
it's fucking, dude, there's an
What a
episode
great
where
cast, man. You look back at
Oh.
that, it's like, shit.
Michael Scott is like,
What an ensemble.
the problem with retards is they're retards. And I'm like, you could never fucking write that today and
So
have that.
much you couldn't do.
I mean, he's saying retard,
Yeah.
and you just couldn't do it. I thought this was inappropriate and offensive. I'll see what you think. Duke Energy, that's the number 2, like whatever power company in the country. They said heavy rains caused a slope to collapse at a coal ash landfill at a power plant stationed outside Wilmington, North
Sloped,
Carolina.
yeah. Is this a David Duke Power Company or is this Duke University? Just
Well,
for context.
that's what it sounds like.
David Duke,
I mean,
yeah.
dude, we're not supposed to call them slopes anymore. And
No.
for one slope to collapse outside of a power plant, you're going to point it out like, oh, by the way, these people died, but there was a slope that collapsed.
It's outmoded.
It's way outmoded.
It's rude at the very least.
So the dead included a mother and a baby, obviously not listeners, in North Carolina, hit by a fucking falling tree. And they said they were mashed. They were mashed. And it's like,
really?
what do we have?
Gentlemen,
Look up, locate, and step to the side.
It's pretty simple, right?
Now we're just dealing with a crying baby who was startled by the noise of the falling tree. How does a mom and a baby not look like I felt the mom more than the baby, honestly. I don't think many babies are listening to us. But yeah, when I read that, I was like, our message isn't getting out there, Jay. It's just not. So the first death from the storm, 61-year-old woman was killed when her car hit a tree that fell across the highway.
Blind women driving again, huh?
It's like, why do we keep letting them drive? So she's driving down the road, looking at her, probably checking her Twitter.
Wham!
Boom! Right into a tree that's collapsed on the road. That was the first death we had from this. A husband and wife died in a storm-linked house fire.
Okay.
That's fair, right? You don't want to go outside. It's flooding and all that. You think with enough water around the fire, you could...
Just splash it.
Just splash. Yeah, just splash.
Yeah, or like you say, just...
Hold your nose, get under there. An 81-year-old man died after falling while packing to evacuate.
Oh, no.
I want more information about that story. You cannot just drop a sentence like 81-year-old died falling while packing to evacuate.
How do they even, like...
He fell down 4 flights of stairs. He fell off a cliff.
How did they find that out? I mean, honestly.
It's a great question.
Somebody reported it. I don't know.
I know,
what do you mean? Like, somebody was there. Somebody saw it. Somebody found him.
I still want to know. I want to know.
Somebody told somebody.
I want to know.
There are people.
It's on video. Hopefully.
Then show me that or say that. Say his son, you know, was there. Say who reported it. Then.
He's got a good. That's a fair question.
No, the journalist here is thinking as the crow flies.
No, he's not.
Eliminate extra words. Man at 81-year-old died while packing. Like, he's not going to go
down. No, he's not thinking.
He's not going. You know what? 81-year-old was reported dead after falling down and hitting his head. His son-in-law found him nearly unconscious, took him to the hospital where he perished.
You wouldn't need all that.
We're in the middle of the storm, so it's not like reporters are like boots on the ground in the house interviewing family.
Hey, man,
people are scattered.
We got deaths and we got basic reasons on all of those. I'd like to hear more about the lady driving into the tree. I'd like to hear more about the family who apparently couldn't snorkel their way out of their house.
Yeah,
I mean, well, it's very specific. An 81-year-old falls while packing, but they don't.
Yeah, while packing is the key. So maybe the reporter got a hold of like his son-in-law and went. Last I knew, he was packing to evacuate.
This is just them trying to show you that there's indirect deaths related to these storms, so that when you're talking about Puerto Rico, you can go, "Hey, Trump, we're not just talking about 12 people who died in the wind. We're also talking about all these unrelated or related, possibly deaths that happened after."
Is it possible? And I wonder if anyone's pulled this off before. We've talked about how, you know, if I'm going to commit mass murder or murder, I'm going to do it on Halloween where not only am I dressed as Batman, but a lot of other people. So people are like, what, did you get a good glimpse of him? It's like, yeah, it was Batman.
Yeah, it's Batman.
Batman fucking beat this guy over the head multiple times or shot his face off.
Which Batman would you dress as, though?
Either Keaton Batman or...
You can't go Adam West. Nobody's dressed like him.
Fuck no. If you went as Adam West Batman, you're singling yourself out. Maybe I'd go as, I don't know, I'd have to have a mask on. Maybe the Joker even. Because a lot of people, whatever if you wanted to commit murder, you could go as Ken Bone last year and commit murder. Because there was enough Ken Bones out there to do it.
With a red cable knit sweater?
Sure. He was mustachioed, fat, and had a red cable knit sweater
Quarters
on.
Quarters it.
Yeah. Is this a good opportunity for someone that wants to kill someone?
Well, and see, that's the thing. When you bring up an 80-year-old man, if it was like maybe maybe a family was taking care of their dad, they don't really like it, and it's like
it.
Oh, boom. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, it took a tumble, packing.
Even if you whacked a guy with a bat over the head, just wham, and killed
debris.
him. It's like, dude, debris. Flying debris. Was it a bat? Was it a tree trunk? We don't know. He's dead, though.
I'm realizing more like natural disasters would also be a great times for any family that has received gifts or things from other family members. They're like, they got me that fucking like maybe like some picture that they fucking hate, but they have to hang it up because they was received, and that's like
my aunt and uncle.
The hurricane, crazy.
Remember my aunt and uncle? I don't think it's murder worthy, but they got me ruler pencil for Christmas when I was a child.
Oh,
I was like 12.
Yeah.
Ruler pencil? It was a ruler that the side folded out into a pencil. Is that the fucking nerd?
Oh my god!
And I sucked in school. Like, why would you get me?
Didn't have a protractor and everything with it, and a compass.
Dude, it was literally a ruler with a pencil.
When did you get that for? What? Like, why was that given? Was it
Christmas? And I'm not
What?
talking stocking stuffer. I'm talking like your gift at Christmas was ruler pencil.
Yeah.
And I knew what my mom did for their kids.
Yeah, but this is clearly coming from an aunt or an uncle who doesn't really know you well, right?
Right.
They're going, I gotta
Well,
get him something. I'll get him. Every kid
What
needs
did
a
that
ruler.
cost? 99
my
cents?
uncle, my
Even back
uncle
then?
is a very, very. He's like a world-renowned scientist out of Champaign-Urbana at the University of Illinois. So it's
Still
not
living?
Like,
What are we doing? What
Yeah.
are we doing here? Get him in here. What's he do?
well, he's still there.
Uh-huh.
He's dealing with some medical things.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
Gotcha.
if it would work.
Because I want to talk
have
flying
him.
cars and shit, you know?
Dude, he had the fucking license plate like phone on one. He drove a BMW with phone on one.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, but he's written all kinds of books and shit that are
Sure.
respected all over. But yeah, ruler pencil.
Yeah, that's rough, dude.
Yeah, and my mom would get them kick-ass shit like, oh yeah, the new U2 CD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, my
Ruler
mom got
pencil.
you went to
Ruler
Harmony
pencil.
House, and I
Ugh.
got a fucking ruler pencil.
Dude,
Did you- how did you like react?
I played
You
it off,
remember-
dude. I was
yeah.
a decent actor even as a child. and
How
I was
soon
able
did
to
you
play
throw it
off.
away?
I don't know that I threw it away, but I guarantee I never used it. It's probably in a box somewhere at my parents' house.
Speaking of douchey vanity plates, sorry to your uncle.
Sure.
Matt emails in with MLM FLCN.
Wait, say it again.
MLM FLCN. He's behind a Ford Escape with that vanity plate. And he's like, check out this douchey plate. Millennium Falcon. Millennium Falcon! Why?
And what kind of car is it on?
It's an Escape.
No.
It's a gray Escape.
No, unless you're on the Millennium Falcon, you can't have that plate. You just can't. Sorry. Ugh. A 78-year-old man's body was found outside by family. He was, we're talking about Hurricane Florence here. He was electrocuted to death trying to plug in extension cords in the rain. Is that's a fair way to go, though, right? That's
You'd probably be fast.
you know, if you drown while the house is, the house is on fire and you die, and it's like, dude, you're in 4 feet of water.
Yeah,
What
why
the
didn't you
fuck are
snorkel out?
Yeah,
I am so
extension cords in the rain.
I'm so intrigued more and more by
Oh,
death,
whole electricity.
just death and how like when you're born and there's a thought that we all know we're gonna die, but everyone just assumes it's gonna hopefully be maybe later or maybe some some disease later. But look at these things he's listed already here.
They were asked to leave.
Right.
They were ordered to leave. It's on him. I'm sorry.
Man falls downstairs packing or something. Man electrocuted.
How about this? How about, of all the ways I've mentioned that you could die in this storm, which way is the most acceptable? I'm thinking electrical cords.
No,
Yeah, it
why is that
depends on the setting,
acceptable?
dude. He might be standing in a fucking pond, you know?
Yeah.
I
When
wouldn't.
you're really looking stupid, you know?
77-year-old man also died after he was knocked down by the wind while checking on his hunting dogs.
Checking on the peroops.
How do they have that much detail in that story yet? How do they know he was checking on his hunting dogs, and how do they know it was the wind that knocked him over? By the way, the weatherman, did you see the weatherman video?
Totally, man.
Edie, you have the
People are
weatherman
tweeting
video?
this and emailing this in all weekend.
This is why I hate these fuckers so much. Because
What an asshole.
not only this one, did you see the meme going around of Anderson Cooper
No.
in one of the hurricanes? He was on the boots on the ground, and they show him he's got those, what are those fishing pants,
Yeah,
suspenders,
waders.
those waders. He's wearing waders, and he's up to his chest in water, and he's live, blah, 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 doing his thing. And they pull back and they show the cameraman 10 feet away, and he's in like ankle deep water, filming him. And so it's like, oh, you found a spot
Yeah, yeah.
where he might have been on his fucking knees. For all
Anybody
we
can
know.
find a body of water.
Of course. I hate these people so much.
Yeah, so here's this weatherman, hand to his ear, trying to hear back in the studio.
It's
Just
the
trying
Weather
to get a
Channel's
report in.
Mike Seidel
Okay.
is the guy's name.
He's fighting the winds, trying to stay upright.
him.
Just trying to stay upright.
Oh, I just can't.
And it's also believable, right? It's all
Yeah.
believable.
Totally is.
Come on, Mike. Stay up, Mike.
Come on, Seidel, you got this.
Brace yourself, Seidel. And from behind, two guys in shorts just walk leisurely by. I think one of them had a phone to his ear.
Yeah. Dude,
Unbelievable.
How hilarious is that? The Weather Channel is trying to make excuses for this.
What?
Yeah.
What are they-
How?
A spokesman for the Weather Channel said, it's important to note that the two individuals in the background are walking on concrete while Mike is on grass. He's trying to maintain his footing while on grass.
That's someone typed that in.
Also, you have to say something, right? You can't just go, "Yeah, we were faking it," right? Don't you have to say something?
And it's not a terrible excuse. The one that they said also was like, well, he was reporting on air till 1 a.m. this morning, and undoubtedly he's exhausted.
Yeah.
So
what does tired have to do with pretending there's wind?
Yeah, you would think if he was exhausted, he wouldn't have the stamina to pretend the wind was blowing him over.
What an asshole.
Oh, these people. So, yeah, Mike Seidel, he's catching a lot of shit. This is as nasty as it's been. The wind is knocking me over.
Fake news.
Fake news.
Hey, everybody, check out the DetroitCast listener business page. It's a page under the Help the Show tab on our website. This is really cool. Go to DetroitCast.com, and on this page, this listener business page, you will see businesses owned by TDC listeners. So help them out. Take a look. It'd be great to support the supporters of the show. And this week's featured listings, actually, are DRKM Strategies. They specialize in helping independent small businesses grow by using proven internet marketing methods, and they entice new customers to find you online. Listener Craig is awaiting your call, and he's great, easy to work with. We use him. Also, PC Solutions, we use them as well. They are Michigan's premier managed IT service providers. They're experts in their field so that you can be experts in yours. Mention TDC for a free site evaluation.
Very good. Did you see the shirtless man run out into the hurricane?
Yeah, apparently this guy does this in different hurricanes.
He likes going viral. I guess this is a big deal.
And he holds an American flag, and he goes shirtless.
Yeah.
And he jams heavy metal, right?
Yep. This is the third time he's done this. Lane Pittman is his name.
Hell yeah, Lane!
Look at Lane go. What'd you think of Lane?
I mean,
he's another one of these, like, I ain't going nowhere.
Only in America, dude. I kind of love it, honestly. I mean, it's like every now and then, you just gotta go, people are awesome, you know? People, well, yes, it's idiotic. Yes, it's stupid, but, you know, just have a little fun.
I don't have a problem
with it. Of course, if
he
gets smacked in the side of the head by a bench flying through the air, then it's not so awesome and funny.
Well, then it's kind of awesome on a different level, but I know what you're saying. Here's the problem I had with it. It sounds like he was out there in 80-mile-an-hour winds, which is impressive, but it's like, dude, these wind gusts were 140, 120, 110. Lane? Like, dude, Lane, get out in the middle of the ocean, deal with 140. Now I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Because 80, you know, I could stand there for 80. It wasn't. Do you have other videos of his?
I wonder what Mike Seidel would do in 80.
Oh, he'd be somersaulting down the road. I mean, the wind would obviously blow him around. So Lane was pictured holding the American flag, headbanging. What was that, a Metallica song it sounded like?
Slayer, it says on this thing, but that I don't know.
He did it to Slayer a couple of years ago.
Okay, so this
that sounded like Metallica, but he was quoted as saying, just being free and American, I don't let nothing oppress me, especially no dang freaking hurricane. It's a great quote.
Lane.
When asked if he was doing this, they're like, are you just trying to go viral? He's like, I've already gone viral.
Don't need to go viral.
Don't need it. He became famous. 2015, Fox News did a story on him, and they issued him a citation for breaching the peace when he played, like Hendrix's, guitar solo of the Star Spangled Banner, and a verse of Ted Nugent's Stranglehold.
Okay.
I have no idea. This looks like a different one. I don't know from what year or not, but
here he goes, filmed in portrait. Unfortunately, there he is.
Is he a ginger too?
Yeah. I just love the stance he takes,
Hell yeah. We've all seen that guy in the front row of a concert.
I worry about the flag, though. I'm like, hold on to that flag, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of precarious.
Yeah, that flag should be flying out of his hands. Anyway, he stared down. He carried the American flag over in 2016 during Category 2 Hurricane Matthew without a shirt, headbanging the entire time to Slayer's Raining Blood. He had a request for some action during the cane. He says, I had a request for some action during the cane. And so I granted it. That's what he wrote on Facebook. He returned for Hurricane Irma last year, posting a video, and this is hilarious. He did like a crowdfunding to raise money for gas so he could drive there, because he's in Florida.
Yeah.
And so he raised $190 in a day, which gave him enough money for gas and coffee. That's what he said he wanted in his GoFundMe, was gas and coffee. He raised his $190.
That's awesome.
And in less than a day, and that's where he went, was out to the hurricane.
Everybody's got their thing.
Hell yeah.
Hey, Zod Ford, they're conducting They're amazing key for key event. Exchange your current vehicle for a brand new 18 or 19 Ford without spending a dime out of pocket. Plus, Zot Ford's goal is to match or lower your monthly payment. Zot Ford will assist you in terminating the remainder of your loan or lease no matter what you owe. Give them the keys to your vehicle, and they will give you the keys to a brand new Ford. Plus, Zot Ford will make your first month's payment. No hassles, no gimmicks, no pressure. Only from our friends at dealsinthed.com.
Hey, sad news over the last few days is Henrik Zetterberg.
Yeah, man, he made it official.
Yeah, it sounded like that for a while, this back issue he was dealing with. But yeah, he saw a specialist in New York last week, found out he's got a degenerative back condition. Rather than assuming any further risk, he's decided not to play. Part of the condition is arthritis. Nothing can be done, no back surgery, no rehab, no more time off is going to have any positive impact. And if you were to play pro hockey, it's going to accelerate the problem. Like if he takes a big hit, could be a real problem. He's risking significant back surgery if he were to take a bad hit. And he's decided quality of life is more important. And he's already made all the money he needs. You know, why would you? You're on a rebuild squad anyways. I mean, whatever. He'll be placed on long-term injured reserve. And so by putting him on the LTIR, as they call it, long-term reserve, the Wings get some salary cap relief because he's making over $6 million a year. He had a news conference at Center Ice Arena in Traverse City. Obviously, it's emotional. It's been 15 years here. Even though I knew I was on my last couple of years, I wish I could have played a bit longer. Starting in January, something just didn't feel quite right. He knew. And these athletes always know. They always know even the slightest thing. Like they're so finely tuned and aware of what's going on with their machine of a body that he was like, he knew right away something was off. I found a way to play through the season, but, you know, the summer I hoped it would get better. He went and saw Dr. Frank Camissa in New York, and that's the guy that did his other back surgery. Nothing had really changed. Detroit and the Wings have been a big part of my life. He and his wife, Emma, we've spent our time growing up here and our life here, and we have an American son. She knows what I've gone through. I think she's happy that I don't have to do all that. So they don't know who – they haven't said, like – and they don't even know. They might just have, like, assistant captains for the foreseeable future. They don't have anybody – what do you think, like, Larkin would be an obvious –
Yeah. I guess they got to decide they're going to definitely.
But you don't want to just give.
You know?
Yeah, you don't want. That's the thing. You don't want to have this thing where you start like having a new captain every year or two. You want to try to make sure you know it's going to be.
Honestly, I'd wait for Yzerman to take it over and then let him decide.
Let him pick Larkin.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave it to Yzerman at what, 19 or something when he was.
20, 21.
He was like the youngest captain ever or something when he came in.
Hank will be missed. I think an underrated overall two-way player.
Hall of Famer.
It's close.
Yeah. I mean, he won the Cup in 2008, right?
Yeah.
He ranks 5th on the Wings in goals, assists, and points. He's played 1,082 games. That's 6th in the organization's history.
The organization?
Organization, yeah, exactly. I don't know how hard. Like if it was football, I would say you get in. Baseball, I would say no.
Dude, I don't know these sports
anything
well
about
enough
hockey.
to make a call on somebody like that. You know, he's a local guy that I respect, that I think is a really good player. But dude, I don't have the contextual.
I mean, Gretzky, you think is a Hall of Famer, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So you can go out on a limb for him, but
I honestly don't know the sport well enough to.
Yeah. Are we thinking about giving some Wings tickets away?
Mike, I think we should, and we are going to do that. We have some Wing tickets for Wednesday, 7:30 game against Pittsburgh. We got 2 pair, and I took the liberty of drawing from our members, our favorite listeners. Got to be honest, they are our favorite listeners. You can become a member, everybody, at DetroitCast.com. Over to the right-hand side, you'll see a tab, Members Area.
Yeah, we put in a shitload of content last week.
Yeah, this month
we did like 3 20-minute segments in there.
Yeah, we've got
pretty good.
Got another couple that we can load in tomorrow. But so we drew some names. I drew some names over the weekend. Rob Ott, you win a pair, and Jason Wolf, you win a pair as well. So I'll be emailing you guys, and just make sure that you follow up with the necessary instructions after that to get electronically connected to those tickets.
So it's this coming Wednesday.
Yeah, this coming Wednesday. So sorry for the short notice, but hopefully you guys can make it.
No, that's awesome. Hey, let's take a quick timeout. Do we still have our MyPillow giveaway going on?
Yeah, right now too, Speaking of the members area, if you sign up for an annual, let's see, Stan Berta annual gets you 1 free MyPillow. Why not do an annual, right? A Nana annual gets you 2 free MyPillows. Why not do an annual?
Sure.
So check it out. Go to DetroitCast.com and see our members area.
Sign up for the year. Get yourself a MyPillow. Those things are not cheap. They're sent directly from Mike Lindell himself. they're here at the house, and E has been sending them out, and we thank everybody that signed up. And
He's been doing a hell of a job with the
hell of a
post
job,
office.
hell of a job, E. Let's take a quick time out. Have you seen Brett Kavanaugh catching some shit?
Holy cow!
I wanted to ask your opinion on
Holy
this.
shit!
Yeah, we'll get into that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break. The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here are Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the show with Mike and Jay. Jay, you'll be proud of me over the weekend. You did such a good job describing that Ken Burns documentary.
Did you watch some?
On Vietnam.
Yeah.
I started watching. Dude, that is long as shit.
Yeah, told you. Told you
some
so.
of those are like 2-hour episodes each.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's an
just
investment.
starting. It's amazing.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah, I called my dad over the weekend. I was like, you flew the A6, right? The bomber, when you dropped the bomb in the farmer's backyard and all that shit. You were A6, right? Because I was seeing the A4 being launched off the, when the Navy was launching them off the
Carriers.
ship carriers. And he's like, oh, yeah, my training was on the A4, though. I mean, that was like...
Isn't that cool?
all
They have
my
like context like that?
Dude,
See
it
what
was
your dad
incredible.
was doing?
Like, I thought the Ho Chi Minh Trail was the hair that went from your belly button to your pubes.
It is, yeah.
I didn't
that's-
know that was an
that's
actual
the second-
guy.
Are you kidding me?
Sort
Okay.
of. But I didn't know in context, though, like how relevant he was to
Yeah,
that
yeah,
whole...
yeah.
Like, I was telling my dad, I felt bad. I was like, I can't believe how unbelievably ignorant I am.
That's
to
how I
that
felt too.
period.
I knew a very basic kind of roadmap of what Vietnam involved. And
Yeah,
this
I didn't even know that.
is so eye-opening. It's cool.
I was,
Yeah.
I was saying to Mike, I forgot about. I didn't bring this up for some reason when you brought it up last week. But like, crazy thing to me was watching that too. Is like, dude. So stories of these guys that are just like, dude, they're just 18-year-old, 19-year-old dudes, and now they're over there, and then it's like how fast things can end up turning to like they have no problem just running through villages and just blowing shit up
Yeah,
or
that
lighting
was-
shit on fire.
Dude,
I
that
mean,
was tough to watch Morley Safer from 60 Minutes, a young Morley Safer on the ground. And, he's with the Marines. And, you see these families and kids hiding in holes, scared to death. And they're living in grass huts and, built by hand. And it's like these guys are just like, well, doing the job here. And just blowtorch it.
Yeah, and
you're
they'll
like,
go. In my opinion, the documentary does a pretty good job of not focusing too much on like the My Lai massacre, which you may have heard of, where there was one.
I'm going to hear of it soon, I think.
Okay, there's one Marine who was convicted for some deaths that occurred during this massacre.
It's war. War is war.
And those are things that were really centrally thematic. And for example, Oliver Stone's Platoon, things like that. And a lot of the guys who were over there were like, kind of like, "Fuck you, man." That was a small piece of it. That stuff that
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
But now you make it like
central.
we were all over there murdering women and children. So yeah, you are seeing early on a lot of these scenes of people getting burnt out of their villages and having to get on the trail and move.
Yeah,
but you're
it's-
gonna see some really crazy shit later.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's when was that made? My dad was like, "Is that old or is it new?" Because he's like, "If it was new, I'd think it'd be on PBS, not Netflix." I'm like,
I
good
think it
point.
came
I don't
out
know.
last year, like July of 17.
Yeah,
But it took them 10 years to make it.
it's crazy. And your point about the music,
Isn't it great?
oh,
And Trent
so much
Reznor
Dylan.
too. There's Trent Reznor that does like some
yes, the music. You're right.
for
I'm
Nine
trying
Inch
to
Nails.
pick out what he's doing though, because
He
hear
does intros and outros a lot to the episodes, kind of like
Okay.
setting the mood. Going out of an episode, more of an electronic feel.
okay. Because there's a lot of like '60s revolution
Sure.
songs and anti-war anthems that were going on at the time.
I completely forgot to bring that part up too. You're right. I like, especially the first few episodes where it ends technically, and then you're in the credits, and it's like, doing one of those kind of like, you're right, like 70s or whatever songs, and just showing pictures. And some of them don't even have to do with the war at all. It's just kind of showing times, like this is what it was like in America. Here's some kids at a movie theater even or something, just like stuff like that.
Did you feel bad at all? And I'm in the beginning stages, so I don't know how this
You don't
goes.
know how it ends?
I don't know how this ends. I don't know who wins. Don't tell me. Don't tell me how this plays out. But I kind of feel bad for LBJ. Like I can,
Oh, keep watching.
yeah. At this point, though, I'm like, dude, you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Like other presidents have made decisions, and
Sure.
you're like, do I do this? Do I do that? And people are telling you all different things,
Yeah.
and he's not making snap decisions. He's not like, yeah, fuck them, kill them all. It's like weeks later, he's lamenting and thinking about it, and And I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I'd do if I'm president. If I ever get to be president,
Yeah,
dude,
there's some guys in
long shot, I know,
some
but-
tough spots, but I think after watching this whole thing, you will hate politicians even more than you already do.
Yeah, seeing that first Navy pilot that got shot down.
Yes.
I think he said like a Mexican name even, but he's like, yeah, I was scared to death. And then as I'm going over it, it's just like, he's just lighting up the coast, all these carriers and planes, and he's like, oh, it felt like a symphony. It was like a symphony going. Until he gets shot out of the fucking air, you know.
And then held for like 10 years.
I can't wait to watch more of it, but yeah, it's good stuff.
Hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Well, let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business and offers all types of insurance coverage: auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free, no-obligation quote today. That's what he specializes in. He'll look at what you have already, and he'll see if he can get you better prices. For me personally, he saved me hundreds per year on
He
home
saved
and
me
auto.
more than that,
yeah.
and got me much better coverage.
So why not check with him? It's a no-obligation deal. Give him a call and see if he can give you a quote.
Well, it was looking like, Jay, it was going to be a no-brainer. There was going to be a new Supreme Court Justice, Brett Kavanaugh. By all accounts, I mean, the Dems have been trying to shoot this down since the beginning, you know, but they didn't really have any ammo to
That was
go
the thing.
after
It's like,
him.
why we even
stringing
this along? You know, it's 51-49.
Yeah, why are we waiting until October, first week of October to
It's a simple majority, right?
Yep.
Republicans will vote party line, and he'll get confirmed and be done with it.
And then this story drops this week. And I wanted to ask you,
This is
because
possibly the dirtiest thing ever, if
Yeah.
this is not true, man.
because it's been sat on for months.
Yeah.
First off, but there's a chick, Christine Ford is her name, and she wrote a confidential letter to a Senate Democratic lawmaker, and is that Dianne Feinstein?
Yes.
I believe is the one.
Die-fi.
And saying that, oh yeah, by the way, Brett Kavanaugh sexually assaulted me when we were in high school, like decades ago, 25, 30 years ago.
So Die-fi, like a good politician, goes, how can I best use this politically?
I'm going to sit on this for months and then bring it out now.
Yeah. Which, in her defense, it's not like, you know, there was some exigent circumstance that required her to immediately report it so that this guy would, you know, stop doing what he was doing. This is something that allegedly happened years and years and years ago.
Yeah, statute of limitations is long gone. I don't know what this means, actually, like, for real going forward. Because it is a giant case of he said, she said.
Yeah,
like,
but
there's no evidence. There's no nothing.
Yeah, but obviously what the Democrats are doing is they're going to call for a full investigation of this, and if they can just give pause to a couple of Republicans who feel uneasy about this, who feel, you know, that they may be in political trouble if they just vote through this.
Yeah.
Then that's what they want, right? And if they can delay it, then possibly the blue wave comes in November, and they can shift things such that they won't be able to, the Republicans won't be able to force through such a conservative justice.
Well, the story from this chick is, and this goes back to the 80s, one summer, Brett Kavanaugh, apparently, if you believe her story, Brett Kavanaugh and a friend of his were, her words, stumbling drunk. And he convinced her to come upstairs to this bedroom where he quickly pounced on her and groped her. And it sounds like she's wearing a one-piece bathing suit and then like a T-shirt over it. And he's trying to get the bathing suit off and this and that. And then another buddy of his comes into the room with the last name of Mark Judge. He came into the room and then jumped on the pile, and the three of them go tumbling. She takes that opportunity to race out of the room, go to a bathroom, lock herself in, and then first chance she got, she leaves the house.
So Judge is just doing the I'm drunk.
We've
Just
done
falls
that.
on everybody.
Are you banging that chick, bruh? And then jump in there. He's trying to bang this
pull the
chick.
sheet off him. Look at you two.
You're butt
naked, laying there.
Naked. So yeah. Anyways, so she was apparently going to therapy years and years later, 2012, and this had been weighing on her mind. And as it became clear that this guy was going to have a legit shot at becoming a Supreme Court judge, it was killing her, and she's
Trying
like,
to get it on record.
get it on record that this happened, this incident happened. And for her, she's worried, like, oh, do I say something? If I do I endanger myself and my family? If I don't, do I have a moral obligation to mention this? Kavanaugh's going unequivocally, bullshit, this never happened.
And so is Judge, right?
The judge guy is also going, are you out of your mind? He was a fucking nerd, straight A student who was into sports, nothing. He was not into like crazy shit at all. This never happened. And so here we sit. So we've got
in
this
a climate of Me Too.
Yeah.
And in a political climate where this is really, really bombastic.
And everything you've seen, like they've thrown everything at him. They've for 3-4 days, whatever the process is, the Democrats tried everything they could to just hammer this guy, and nothing stuck.
And he's
all
been
of it
through
was
all
looked
sorts
at
of
as
FBI
bullshit.
investigations.
Yeah.
You know, they do all the background checks.
He doesn't. I mean, I know I wasn't there, but at first glance, he doesn't look like a guy that would be doing that stuff. Now, I can't say.
He kind of looks like the type of guy who didn't get drunk enough to know what he was doing when he got drunk, though. So he looks like the kind of guy to me that would get a couple too many beers in him and start acting really, really fucking stupid and goofy.
Oh, like the first time he drank.
Yeah.
He's that guy. He's the rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm reading this whole thing, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. She took a lie detector, and she passed. You know, they said she at least believes her story, that this happened. And I'm going, okay, well, now what? It's not like you're going to find, like, oh, here's the panties I wore or the bathing suit I wore. There's shit on it.
Yeah, the blue dress.
And it sounds like he groped her. He didn't, rape her or penetration, anything like that.
Well,
So
it's a political issue. It's not a
what do we
criminal
do?
issue. It's a political issue. And,
Yeah.
and with political issues, things are gray and mushy. Mm-hmm. And I think some Republicans are going to get cold feet about this.
Really? You think
Yeah.
so? You think this could have a legit effect on this? Because the Republicans know, like, dude, this is a serious thing. To get a guy on the bench, even if I would think Republicans would be going, look the other way because we need that guy on the bench.
No, really. But here's the other side of it. Will this motivate more Republican voters to get out in November and make sure that the majority stays? Because they'll be like, that was dirty fucking shit. That's bullshit. And you just delayed that. You stopped that confirmation and you delayed it such that you wanted to get your additional senators in to change the mix of the Senate. And that was bullshit. So I'm going to vote. I wasn't going to go vote before, but I'm going to do it now.
Do you think that's dirty politics to sit on that for 3 months and then bring it out now?
Dude, gloves are off at this point. Everybody's, it's dirty as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I'm like, that's not a bad move.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible
if you're
move. I mean,
chess, right?
if it was flipped the other way, and you're like,
course.
I mean, and the same thing happened during the election. I mean, was it NBC that held on to the grab her by the pussy thing? They held that for months. I can't remember which was CBS, NBC, whoever it was, but they absolutely held that for
max impact.
Exactly. Now is the time to launch this story and then drop it like a bomb. So it doesn't surprise me that Feinstein or whatever would hold this and then it gets delivered to the Washington Post. The other problem was she wouldn't go on record with the Post for a long time. And so, they were like, well, we know about this, but she won't go on record. We don't really want to just go with this. And finally she did, thinking, it's my moral obligation.
And was she a professor somewhere, right?
Palo Alto University.
Yeah, so I mean, she's not just some, Stormy Daniels type character where you go, whatever, porn star bitch, she's, seems to be
Palo Alto
at first glance of upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
I'm sure people dig into her, though.
Sure.
It's fair game at this point.
I don't know Palo Alto University. I know Palo Alto is where Stanford is.
Go.
No. Here's what I do know. Palo Alto is where Stanford is, and she does do some, there's some connection between her and Stanford and Palo Alto University.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've never heard of Palo Alto University.
And Feinstein's out of
it's a beautiful area,
San
though.
Francisco.
I mean, redwoods and,
Is Feinstein out of California, or is she,
Yep. Sure is. Do you think this will have a final impact on this thing? Do you think in first week of October he's the new justice?
I guess my gut says, boy, just a hair no.
Really?
Yeah. I think this is...
Dude, if what's his name can survive, who has put pubic hair on my Coke?
Yeah.
Do you need a Hill thing?
Yeah, but this is potential, assault, man.
Not rape, just a grope.
I guess
it was honestly, be honest, Jay. In the 80s,
I would have to.
Did no really mean no in the 80s?
I would have to understand who's up, in November and who's worried. What senators are in play here,
right?
In terms of potentially flipping and how close they are and what their personalities are. I don't know. I don't know how in danger that is.
I just don't like judging today's standards like the 80s. I mean, no didn't mean no until a few years ago. No meant, motherfucker, you got some work to do. You know what I mean? If a chick said no in the 80s, it was like, shit, I got some work to do. All right, let me regroup and get back in there.
Just think if you're him, man. You're about to hit the pinnacle of your career. I mean, this is everything you've dreamed of as a total white guy nerd your whole life, right? Oh my God, I'm going to be on the Supreme Court with all my idols.
As long as this bitch.
With all my idols, I'm about to be there. I made it through everything. I answered all their questions.
Yeah.
And then it's like, bam! And you're like, no, that didn't happen. Like, what if that didn't happen?
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Like, if this is a
Just
total
flat out
bullshit story.
Can you imagine?
But why? Why would this woman?
Because there's a lot at stake, man.
No, I know, but dude, passing a polygraph. I know sociopaths can do it, but dude, it's not easy to pass a polygraph. I mean, for her to be like, why would she be in therapy in 2012
there's so
talking
much
about
at stake. I don't like conspiracies generally, but there's so much at stake that you can't take off the table that she's being paid, the polygraph person's being paid, and there's a lot of just payments.
Really,
down the line.
think?
I mean, you can't take it off the table. I don't think. Like this is.
I would expect a lot of people to say that, but
I know. We're at the outset of the story, so I need to learn more about it. That may sound really, really dumb in a day, but I just don't put anything past either side. With these judicial appointments have become so important, man.
They're huge, and people are learning for the first time. I feel like. How important they are. Yeah, like to me, it didn't. I was like, yeah, whatever. Supreme Court. I didn't even know any of them. Like I know all their names now, and I know how fucking important it is.
Yeah.
And I think the country has been educated, finally, to understand exactly how important these things are. And a lifetime appointment is no bullshit.
The end of the day, I think it was Dana Perino who immediately, when presented with the notion that there could be a blue wave and there could be a change in the Senate and definitely the House is going to change. But it may not be that bad a thing for, quote, President Trump's agenda. Because, I mean, I've said all along, like, that dude was a free agent, as free agents go, And if the Dems would have just taken the stance, instead of resist, but just become a Trump whisperer, they could have had all sorts of shit done. And to Dana Perino's point, if it does go blue, it may be a better thing for everybody because then shit'll start to get done.
Yeah,
he wants to make deals.
Right now, we're just in an absolute resistance block. Everything.
Yeah, and it's not like he has some strong conservative philosophy that he's going to stick by. No, he's going to make deals so that he can go down in history as making the best deal.
I love Puerto Rico.
And if he can have the Dems saying it's a great deal, then look, even the people who hate me say it's a great deal. So I think he's going to start working with them. To be honest, he's going to just start getting shit done. And so I'm almost rooting for kind of a evening out.
It's funny, dude, because you've been saying that like since the election. You've been going, dude, he's a free agent. He's not really a Republican.
Whisper
conservative.
to him. Tell him he's great. Tell him he's great.
I heard someone talking about that the other day, and they were like, if President Trump were smart, if the Democrats were really smart, they would take advantage of the fact that he's not really a true. I'm like, these motherfuckers have been dude, they're plagiarizing. Jay's been saying that for fucking 2 years.
I'm sure I'm not the only one, but it just seems.
I don't hear a lot of people say that, and it's obvious when you hear it. It's obvious. It's like, oh yeah, no shit. 2 Corinthians told you everything you needed to know.
Dude, the guy digs in against people who slight him, against people who strike at his ego.
Yeah.
Don't strike at his ego.
Yeah.
Stroke his ego. Stroke it.
He's shown flashes of it in meetings. Remember, he's called like, I want all the Dems in the White House at lunch. We're gonna have lunch, and then they throw out some crazy idea, and he's like, I like that. We should, and then the Republicans are stuck going, sir, that's totally against what we believe.
They're on
in.
the wrong team, sir.
Yeah, he's like, maybe we should ban guns completely,
right?
Because they're killing people. Feinstein's got a good point. We should hear this out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, proving again that he really is kind of a free agent.
He's pliable.
And whoever I was watching, I can't remember who it was because I immediately thought of you, but they were like, dude, you're missing an opportunity here. This guy is not set in stone like a Mike Pence, who's just like, conservative, got Ted Cruz. I'm a Ted Cruz conservative.
Yeah.
No, he's not. You could fucking trick this guy into doing
Totally.
Yeah. It's nuts.
So it won't be the end of the world is my point, I mean, it's
Can you
like...
bell to your own point?
I have before, and I'll do it again.
All right.
I don't think it's going to be the end of the world if things go blue in November.
Oh, you'll be bummed, though, if Kavanaugh doesn't.
I don't know. I mean...
Really?
Somebody will get in there, and shit'll be fine, Shit'll be fine.
Life's not going to change that much.
No, not that
it's
much.
Just not. It's just not.
Just like if Kavanaugh gets in, abortion won't be gone. States will pass abortion laws ultimately.
Isn't that hilarious? He's
Yeah,
like, dude,
it's
precedent
calm.
is set. Are you kidding me? Like, he's going to walk in and all of a sudden we're going to have a new vote on abortion laws. Give me a break. It's not going to happen. I don't think, anyways. Do you?
No, but even if it did, I mean, it would become an issue. Abortion wouldn't be wiped clean out of our culture. It
No.
would, states would take care of things.
you want a civil
and
war
states,
for real?
States would truly. That's how it was set up, right, Isis? I'm going to
course.
ease knowledge of history here. This goddamn place was set up for individual states to actually be
The
individual.
federal government was never supposed to
be tiny, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
We fixed the roads. We handled the military and the roads.
Yeah, libertarian shit is sounding a lot more reasonable to me these days.
Totally agree with you. Anyway, we've only got a few minutes left. Why don't we get to a couple emails?
Yeah.
They're starting to pile up.
We can do that. Hey, tomorrow I want to mention the Norm Macdonald show, though. Have you guys watched that?
I will, but I
have.
won't.
What do you think?
Let's talk about it tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
If you want to write in the show, send us your thoughts to email at DetroitCast.com. Or if you want to send us anthrax, go to P.O. Box 250268,
Please don't do
Franklin,
that.
Michigan, 48026. Let's see. We've got Jay emailing in concerning Twitter trends. I wanted to comment on this for a while. Jay hit it on the head. What most people see as trends on Twitter is specific to their locale. I cannot make it local to Toledo, so as a default, I use national. I guess you can change yours
Oh,
to
you can
national,
set it?
Miguel. Yeah, some people only use worldwide. Tell MW to click on his Twitter profile or in the trending screen to change it to California or whatever. He could get news local to Jerry and cater a podcast toward that area. I've always wondered why you guys hammer so hard on the local news. Hammer might be a bit harsh. Instead of
We don't-
focusing on, we're
We're the
that sounds-
exact opposite of that. We don't hammer.
Instead of focusing on certain areas away from the tri-state area, cover daily stories from Indy or Chicago sometimes. Hit the hot topics in Branson besides duck boats. I think that's what he's trying to say here. Besides duck, there you go, duck boats. Good day. I said good day.
What is he
Jay,
talking
I disagree with you. We barely handle
Wholeheartedly.
anything local. In
Yeah.
fact, it's, people, I think, wonder sometimes like why this is even called the Detroit Cast, because it
shouldn't be.
really we talk about way more stuff than
we should
Detroit
change the
local
name of
stuff.
this fucking show. We really should. I'm not. I'm not even kidding. It's just a matter, dude. The only reason.
Yes.
The only reason we haven't, honestly, is because there's just so. Dude, you're talking about website overhauls and merch overhauls. Like, just the thought of it sucks.
Yeah.
But we should. I mean,
like the name. The only problem is it very well could be an obstacle to people around the country or the world that
Right.
go, I don't give a fuck about Detroit.
some kid in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Hey, Albuquerque.
I know.
What the fuck do I care about Detroit?
Detroit. It's like we don't even talk about
Yeah.
Detroit. We
I need an
really
international
don't.
podcast. Mm-hmm. Jason writes in, hey guys, just wanted to email and let you know that I used Wasik Insurance for auto and renters insurance and saved $50 per month. They were easy to work with and knew their shit. Thanks. 734-455-1900. Call Wasik today.
There you go.
Thanks for using him, Jason.
He's a good boy.
That's how this works, everybody. This show cannot go on without action like Jason just took.
Exactly.
Please use our sponsors, all
And
of them.
that's such a simple one. You call him and go, "Here's what I have.
Yeah.
Can you beat it?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, I can't. You got great insurance."
Yeah.
Do your
Same with
thing.
Merck. Merck's the exact same way, man.
Yep.
If you guys aren't hooked up with financial advisors already, go to Merck. And if you are, Merck will look at what you've got going and he'll go, no, you're good. And he's done that. People have written me and gone, Merck is the most honest dude ever.
Yeah.
He told me just stick
I
with what you've
asked
got.
him, like, wink, wink on the side, like, dude, for real. I mean, you're going to look for the best. He's like, no, honestly, I've told listeners of yours,
Yeah.
you're in a good spot. This is the
Spot.
course I would take. Stay where you are.
Yeah,
You're good.
so these no obligation consultations that kind of like, that's just a dumb advertising phrase. Dude, think about that. Think about what that means.
Yeah.
You have no obligation. Just call them up, give them your shit. They'll look at it. And if they can do better, they will. Please.
And they've done it with us. Brent was like, dude,
Easy
here's
steal.
what I found for you. And it will save you about this a year, and you're getting better coverage. And it's like, all right, cool. What do I have to do? He's like, sign the paper when
Yeah.
I fucking send it to you. That's all you have to
and
do.
then 3 weeks later, he goes, Mike, can you please just sign it?
Please, dude. I know I
And then
sent it
3
weeks
weeks after
ago.
that, Mike, do I need to resend it?
They've changed their policy now. I need to resend you a new one. So don't sign that one and send it back. The whole thing's changed. It's changed. It's been a year.
But it gets done,
Mm-hmm.
and then everything's good. Mike writes in concerning a Smurf story. When my daughter was 4 years old, she had a question. Dad, what are those things that boys had? I thought, uh-oh, what do you mean? I said, hoping this was going to go in a different direction. My daughter says, "You know, the things that look like Smurf houses."
No, she's talking about
Little
mushrooms.
Panoosh. Little Panoosh.
Mushrooms.
The Smurfs were never the same for me. Great show, says Mike.
Well, thank you,
Ooh,
Mike.
that's a. Yeah, you don't want that.
What do you do?
conversation.
What's the answer to that? If Sweet Pie came to you one day and was like,
I go, that's his dude. You got one kind of dude, and boys got a different kind of dude.
isn't that the best answer? Just
Yeah.
hit it head on. Just
Yeah.
go, yeah, guys have dongs. Here, let me show you mine.
No, that's
No,
just-
you don't. That's too much?
That's
Too much. I knew I was taking that too far.
a little too far.
But you can go, dudes have dudes.
yeah. You
and
went one step. Oftentimes, you just go, "You've got it. You've got it. Now stop."
I'm right there.
And
It's
then
like,
you went off the cliff.
guys have a dude. You got a gash.
No,
That- I
no,
mean,
no. That's your. You got one kind of dude. Boys got a different kind of dude.
Yeah.
Stop there.
I used to say that to my sister. You have got, when God made you, he went slice slit. That's what he did. He took a hatchet and he went slice slit.
Oh man.
You don't say that to a 4-year-old, 3-year-old.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
Boy, that's a weird way to end the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Took a turn there.
The whole slice slit thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's-
Feel free to use it if you want, if anyone asks you. But, boy, really took the air out of the room. Sorry about that.
A little uncomfortable.
Yeah. We'll do better tomorrow. We'll see you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.